Perfect. Yeah, I hear the game as well. There we
Cool.
have you. On 150. Yeah, I'm ready to go if you are.
Yeah, sweet, same.
Perfect. Then yeah, well, generally just like queue into someone and play, I suppose. I'll point out stuff that I think about during the games and advice and stuff.
Yeah.
How good would you
Right.
say you are, like just in general? Like what's
Let's see.
what's your power level?
Yeah, my crowning achievement so far, Evo Melee 2019. I got 13th place. This is 2019.
Oh, side event melee.
Yeah, yeah.
How many enter there?
Like 150, but
Then that's
I
not
think
bad.
like it's not bad, but like half of them dropped out for
right.
ultimate or something. So
yeah,
it's a funny it's
well, I mean, 13 for the Evo is a very prestigious title. It's more than I've
right.
ever gotten. So
See, I
I
get
mean,
to say this now.
yeah, that's very good.
Yeah, so there's that. Otherwise, my local is actually Hax's nightclub. And
oh, nice! I watched like almost every single one of those every week.
Oh, no kidding!
So there's a good chance I've seen you on stream there.
Cool. I haven't been in any games yet, but my best record there is 2-2, and I usually go 0 or 1-2.
Okay, well, taking sets there seems pretty good. Even the floor there seems pretty high from what I've seen. So
it's an extremely stacked
event, yeah.
And yeah, so
well, then I know roughly what to expect. Would you? What type of Marth are you like trying to be? Are you trying to be super aggressive, super defensive?
Given my proclivity for run up shield, I'm probably like a bit defensive.
I think okay.
Do you know the streamer Elysian Ray?
Yes.
She's got a style that I love.
Okay. Well, that's a pretty good idea then. Well, I'm not gonna disturb you while you're actually playing.
Okay.
It's up to you which matchups like you want to stay in, which ones you want to like queue out of. If you find an opponent you think is fun to play against, then you of course just stay at that. I play a lot of Marth on the side, so definitely fine either way.
Okay.
Perfect. Now I have a mute button, which was what I was after. Remove the song. Okay. Don't have to have the music that loud. It's pretty good. Nice. So he's winning. That's what matters. That's what we're here for. We're here to watch him win. That's the goal of today. Good wake up tilt. Or he seems pretty confident in the way he plays. Ooh, I love that. Are you comfortable with shield dropping, by the way?
Like I do it, but I have a typo controller actually, and like it's honestly like kind of a 50-50 whether I get it or not.
Which method do you use? Do you use the axe method, which is where you take it to the side and then go down?
Yeah, that's the one I use.
Yeah.
Is there another?
No, well, way before we learned about that one, everyone just did it by going straight down, and that's why it wasn't in the meta. And then people were like, wait, you can turn off roll and, go into the notch. Well,
really?
I was wondering because, well, when you were in the game there were a few times when you were on the platform and you did really good, what's it called? You did really good short jumps off the platform instead of shield dropping. Also, UCF isn't on here. UCF isn't on except for online. So you can't actually train it here, which really sucks. Yeah, I think there's a setting for it. If you go back, wait.
Okay.
Go back one more, and I think it might be in options. No, okay. The only place it could be is if you go to like versus mode.
Yeah.
And then name entry. No, here, yeah, perfect. See if there's. Oh, you changed the language.
Whoops.
Oh fuck. One down.
I'm just gonna restart Dolphin.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's no memory card, so it's fine. Yeah, okay. Well, it doesn't really matter much. Should be versus mode, turn to melee, and then versus mode. Rule, I think. Oh, never mind. It's not that important.
Yeah.
I wish you could practice it, but you can't.
Yeah. Okay.
But I was wondering because you did a short jump off the platform, which is a good sign. Which is a sign that you're either super comfortable and you understand like everything there is to know about the platform, or you don't feel confident shield dropping. And I was mentioning it because it's like it opens up Marth so much being able to shield drop consistently because he has such a huge threat zone with falling up air, falling fair and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to. I've never been able to figure out how to like do the Zane like turnaround shield drop fair, that kind of thing.
Oh, that's just so. What he does is he dashes for a frame, and that's how he turns off a roll. And because he turns off a roll, he just goes into the notch to the side. That's literally all you do. You only go into the diagonal down notch. Afterwards.
Gotcha. Yeah, I figured that's how he did it. I just like physically haven't been able to pull it off yet.
Yeah, it's really easy on UCF, but it's impossible otherwise. Also, the stream ended.
Oh, it ended. Okay.
No ads? No, I don't run ads myself, but it might pre-roll ad without my knowledge.
There we go.
Perfect. Well, I'm not. I was just asking because what you did, it was so good, was that he up tilted like right under you, and you short jumped. You short jumped right above it, and then landed on with a fair. I'm like, that was absolutely insane.
Cool. Honestly, it sounds like an accident, but I'll take it.
Yeah, that was why I was so like immediately impressed because I've seen Zane do that as like a read on the up tilt, but I've never seen like any other Marth do it.
Nice. I'm Zane.
Yeah. I see your Hearthstone screens. Yes, I do have Hearthstone on.
Alright, so this will probably be a good match to get some marking in, because when a Falco is like faster than me, I feel like all my tech goes out the window a little bit.
Yeah, you're suffocated. Good up tilt. I mean, it worked. It worked. I'm not gonna be mad. But I should save it for further reference. Good roll. Yep. Marth abusing rollout. Nair. He's not confident wave dashing out of shield. It's the first thing I notice. Actually got it that you're doing coaching now instead of 2 years ago. How so? His biggest issue is that he's... I definitely need to save this. There's a few things here. Good F smash. I think in general your game sense is pretty good. There's a few situations where you're I don't think you're confident like wave dashing out of shield, and from the ledge, the general like mix up for Marth is just ledge dashing on or doing an aerial from ledge.
Right, yeah.
Because if you do a late aerial, and then you get to roll before you can do anything out of shield. So that's like the main two things. If he's close, you do late nair or late fair, and if he's further away, you... Oh, take ledge. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
because regular getup that you're doing now, it's very hard for you to like go anywhere from there. And in general, he has to be close to cover it, and being close is good for you, because then you can do the aerial. So if he's close, you should aerial up. If he's further away, you can do regular getup.
Right. That's definitely a habit that came from like not ever. I've usually had poor internet connections.
Yeah.
And so I would just regular get up at just like I would just try to do it at a weird time.
Because the connection was like unreliable, so you could like SD if you went for anything else.
Yep.
I see. Sounds like suffering, not gonna lie.
Yeah, it was at a point where before rollback came out, I had actually uninstalled Dolphin because I would go to my weekly every week and I felt like I would get so much better.
Yeah.
And then coming home and playing Dolphin, like I would just screw up everything.
I see. So rollback has been a boon for you?
Oh, definitely.
So I love how confident he is for spacing, but he doesn't have the flowcharts at all. I love the coaching because I don't compete anymore. I see. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I'll there's a lot of people coming back to competing now because of rollback. So if you ever decide to, well, I'll be here. What's the best way for Marth to deal with Marth Killer? Going early and not hitting shield. There is a spacing where you dodge hitting the shield, but there's a but that's really hard. If you have a jump, you should usually like just hit them with like a side B and then stall to mix up the timing. If you're too far away, there's no mix up. You just die. So I mean, if you can't hit the shield before you can do the up B, or you're at like low percent, so you don't die if they back you, then you should go for early up B to stage. If you die from a back here, then you should always go for like the sweet spot around it. Ooh. This game has been so unlucky.
I just like intimidated him out of his stop.
Yep. One thing he's doing that I'm very critical of is that he's going into shield because he's unconfident of Falcon's threat ranges. He's never ever in a position to go for a dash dance grab. He's always going for dash dance, shield, and then grab.
I guess I'll disc queue and like I'm sure you have a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, okay. I got a lot from it. You can just queue and play, and I keep taking up like notes every time. Right there.
Oh, okay.
One of the things I noticed was that you it's the same Marth as before. It's the Marth you played round 1.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Maybe he's the Iron Man.
Possibly. Well, one thing I noticed versus Falco that I think is something you'll have in general is that whenever you went for like a dash dance grab, you always go for a dash dance shield and then grab the punish on shield. But Marth specifically, he's got such a good grab range that you should like almost never ever go into shield from the dash, right?
Yeah.
If you have the opportunity, you should like just space around them.
Right. Yeah. I think that's another habit that came out of from bad connections.
Yeah.
So
most of it seems like you're trying to mitigate the possibility for failure, and the issue with that is that it very much stifles growth. The way you get better at melee is generally by taking risks and trying to like push your execution and like push yourself to do stuff that you normally wouldn't. Because if you push yourself to do the hardest stuff, then you get better like the easier stuff too.
Right. That totally makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. So every time you're doing something to mitigate like a failure, if it comes at like the expense of reliability versus like good players, it's just like an objectively worse option. If your execution is on point, then it's generally not worth it. But for stuff like there's certain situations where like, oh, I'm grabbing out a shield. Well, if I hold down, then I'm actually like, CCing while I'm grabbing. And that's just like always better. So there's two types of it. You can mitigate failure and still do like the best thing. or you can mitigate failure and get like a worse option.
You know what? I just tried it right there, and it gave me that kill. So.
Yup. So you're saying that I should keep trying to do pivot F-tilts and friendlies instead of working on my consistent wave dashes? Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I mean. There. It's not looking for rolls. Yeah, he does not feel confident shield dropping. I think what I'll focus on, stuff to practice. Shield dropping. Dash dance. Grab. Slash. Pivot grab. 3. Looking out for rolls. Control Fair is really good against everything is Marth. Yep. This always sucks as Marth when you're in the spot and he's at 150%. You're like, can we go to the next stock?
Yeah. Yeah, I've lost entire games at like 200% of their first stock.
That's sort of the consequence of going for the like easier stuff, is that if you do, you can get consistent damage, but it's very hard to get those like early kills because most of his early kills are like very specific flowcharts.
Yeah. I think I do tend to go for consistent damage, partly because you know, I've been a noob the whole time, so it's like, yeah. Also because when I started playing Melee again, my one roommate picked Marth, so I would pick Sheik just to like not have 2 Marths in the group. Yeah. And that means I like I do the like I do the pummel C-stick down throw like out of habit like all the time.
The way you're playing, I feel like the way you played against Mario there was very, very similar to how you're supposed to play against Puff.
Dude, that's one of my favorite matchups.
That makes sense, because she punishes you for going for like overextensions very hard, but your neutral is like so much better than hers that if you go for like super consistent damage and take 0 risks, it's a really good matchup. But a lot of Marths, they're so like they lean the opposite direction from you, where they overextend and try to go for like the hard the unreliable like chase kills that they really get messed up by Puff. But it makes sense. I saw immediately that you'd be good against Puff.
Thank you. Yeah, revisiting the like the Marth reference thing, like I think my favorite is definitely PP. I'm a member of the Year Nation. I actually mentioned yesterday, I'm getting a lesson with Pipsqueak tomorrow, and he was like, oh, sweet, nice.
Yeah, he and I actually DM'd him like a year ago about theories and like questions I had, and he was super kind and just answered like all of them. He's a really nice dude.
Dude, yeah, like I've been during Rona times especially. I've just been hanging out in his chat pretty much all day while like working. Yeah. And he just knows everything, man.
He does. He's very, very intelligent. That was actually insane. I had to say that. That was better than like what top Marths do. He empty jumped.
So now we got Fox, which means you're probably gonna be extra.
Oh yeah, I'm super attentive. I'm super attentive to how you're playing right now.
Yeah.
You've already done one thing, which is like, it's actually insane to me because it's something that I see like 2 Marths do, and that was that you short hopped in the corner and you saw the Fox full jump, so you empty landed instead of doing your aerial and then killed him for it. And I was like, wow, that was the sickest reaction I've ever seen.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Raiden. How are you doing? Getting 7 grabs into a dare against Puff feels amazing. Yes, it does. But that's not what I'm talking about. I mean, mostly when you extend with like double jumps. Yeah, that happens if you ever walk too close to the edge. You have to always be super careful of not getting pushed off by regular get up or them jumping up or ledge dashing. At this percent, you should like almost just full jump in air.
Okay.
So if on like no DI, because you
Full
can
jump.
yeah. So at like 120 full jump fair, it stops comboing if they have good DI, but full jump in air, it sets them up for a really good edge guard. Okay. Fair. He had a finisher way earlier, but that's fine. Can't wait for my lesson. Yeah. I'm DMing you after this, by the way. To the side of time. That's good. Ledge dash up. Fair in the corner. Oh, that was so good. Love the roll for. Dead. Oh!
Ah.
Missed the
I probably didn't have enough time. I probably should have drop off back air, maybe?
Side B.
Ah,
Side B is the answer there.
okay, yeah. I'll do another one against the Fox, because...
Yeah, just keep playing. If you play the same person for a long time, I tend to see like more habits, because they always like exploit the same stuff. So if you play like new people all the time, I have less time to like see where your like consistent weaknesses are. If it's like an input thing, or if it's just, you know, a thing you do wrong every time, you know. Have a good stream? Thank you, I will. I'm having a good time. This is so easy. It's so brainless for me. It's actually very nice. Ooh, that's good.
Damn.
The big thing with this dude is that he...
I got an
He's very
accidental,
stationary.
like, tap jump there, and that sealed it.
Yeah. Yep, I can lower the music. Is this better? I think your consistent weakness, like your number one weakness, is that you're not you're not confident with punishing at all. You're very, very stationary, and you're not abusing how like broken his dashback is. A lot of time you can do just like doing dash into like rising fair, or doing dash into like, you know, pivot grab, or just, you know, dash forward grab is so strong. So a lot of the things that this fox is doing, if you literally like dash right at the edge of his like short up nair range, and then, you know, mix in doing a fair into him and grabbing like the end lag, then you'd be super good. You're shielding so much, and Marth especially, of all the top tiers, he's the weakest out of shield.
Right, yeah.
So in like almost all these matchups, it's so important to put yourself in positions where you don't have the shield. Yeah, so like you play the mix-up with the aerial there in order to beat the down tilt. And then you, instead of like... Yeah, exactly. And then sometimes you preemptively decide to grab him if he's trying to like overshoot. So that's generally the mix-up you want to play. You don't really want to play the one on shield. And I'll go into that like after these games, for sure.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was planning on revisiting the stream or something, because I'm like losing track.
Yeah, of course, of course. It's gonna be in the VOD, and I'm just saying this, and at the end of this, I don't know how long you have, but in like 20 minutes-ish, I'll sit down and like talk about the stuff, you know, more in detail, instead of like while you're playing.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, I've got until 11 for me, so...
Yeah. So in like 1 hour and 30 minutes, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect. So yeah, the way I do this is normally I'm pretty much quiet here, and I'm deciding to like mention some of the stuff that's gonna come up later, but then I mostly take everything after you're done playing.
Right. Okay.
Started this program as well, which lets me paint on the screen, which is very convenient. So I can like, you know, I can talk about stuff later with an actual like paintbrush, which is very nice. Just comboing them way too much upwards. It's good. Yeah, he's doing way too he's too reliant on, or it's weird because he doesn't go for any of the finishers, but his combo game is doing like the paths that require finishers. I'll have to get into the
yeah. Anytime you see me spot dodge on the platform,
that's a shield drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, you literally like just go into the notch, and if that makes you spot dodge, that means you have a really bad controller for shield dropping.
Oh wow. Okay.
So it's just you're supposed to go to the edge and then into the notch afterwards. And if that doesn't work, well, we're gonna have to look into that, because that's with UCF that's like never supposed to make you spot dodge.
Gotcha.
Like he does all of these super impressive timing mix-ups, but he like doesn't. It's weird. He's like obviously thinking in neutral, but he's so unconfident in a lot of the basic stuff. So like here, see, the fox was super far away, and when he was super far away,
there's that down throw.
Yeah, and like here, he's playing very scared, and sometimes he's reacting in spots where I don't think Marths generally react, and I get very impressed. And then there's other spots where I feel like he should set up like the basic B&B mix-up, and he doesn't take the opportunity. He stays in shield. The number one thing he has to be confident doing is wave dashing out of shield like immediately, like yesterday.
What are the good Marth wave, like, out of waveland or ledge, Marth out of ledge dash options?
So at most you can get 4 frames of invincibility. So generally what Marths tend to do is they tend to do ledge dash roll or ledge dash shield, and then they mix in ledge dash up tilt. However, because your waveland goes so extremely far, you get a you get to pick. Do you want to go like super close to the ledge? And if you go super close to the ledge, that's like one timing. Or do you want to go super far into stage? And no character can like cover both. So what you'll see Marths do is they'll often just like ledge dash into nothing. You know, they dash into stage, right? Just go under everything, right. Take center stage. That's also why having the late aerial is so good, because if you do like a late fair or late nair, they can't actually like punish it with what's it called, the end lag of it. You have enough time to shield or roll. I think Marths should do up B out of shield as a killer. VG does it all the time against me. Yes, I do it a lot. It is very good. Situational though.
See, there's the net play.
Yep. Question is, how much do I want to go into tech chasing with him? I probably should go into it at least a little bit. I think I have a good list of things I want to talk about after this. I think I've already got a pretty good list of like things I want to talk about.
Okay, cool. I'll
And it's pretty universal as well, so even if it's been really helpful to look at this like Fox matchup, because I definitely feel like you don't have to like do that much to get 10 times better results.
Right.
Some small changes is gonna make this like so different. Nice shield drop. You got it.
Thank you. It's like I said, it's just like a 50-50.
Yeah. Could also be which direction you're shield dropping in. Some controllers, before it was very common that they can only shield drop one direction. And now it's very common that they can, with UCF you can generally shield drop on both. Okay, so, the way I tend to do it now is I tend to go into direct and load up the game with you. So, let's see, you're in the US, right?
That's right.
Then, I'm going to put delay to free, very quick.
Oh, how do you do that?
You go to properties or you go to config in Dolphin, and then you go to GameCube, and then there's at the very bottom Slippy Online settings, delay frames free.
Oh, gotcha.
So you have to quit. You quit out of the game for it.
Oh, you have to. I gotcha.
Yeah. No, you don't have to edit the file anymore. They fixed that. My code is 827. What's your code?
HRSE number 215.
HA.
HRSE.
Oh. R.
Horse without the O.
Yeah. And
number 215.
215. Perfect.
What's yours again?
Yeah, I linked it in Discord. It's Pip 827.
Okay. Good.
This is actually like the fastest that I found a lot to talk about, and I wanted to quit early because I think that this might take a little while to go through like the things. Actually, I should have loaded Marth real quick. Actually, I'm gonna quit out and load Marth. Okay, let's go Battlefield. So, first of all, now they're online, shield dropping. Just see if you can do it, because it's we do have UCF now. So it's literally go to the side and into the notch. And if you go into the notch, you can do it however fast you want, and you'll always get the shield drop. So that's very important to know, because that opens up his like platform game significantly. So I definitely, number one, get comfortable doing that, because it takes like almost no time to practice, but it's a game changer. But in general, so the way you play, it's very obvious that you've got the Sheik stuff in you, and that's kind of unfortunate, because the stuff that Marth excels at doing is the exact opposite of what Sheik excels at doing.
Right.
And well, what do I mean by that? Well, so Sheik very much wants to play grounded, and she wants to beat you out with hitboxes on like the way, and she wants to trade a lot on the ground. Because if a fox nares into Sheik and she F tilts and holds down, she gets a grab for free, right? Marth can't really do that the same way. And the way you're doing, you're shielding a lot, but you're not really confident just wave dashing out a shield. So a lot of time you end up being stuck and forced to roll around a lot. And his rolls aren't that good, and his like aerials out of shield aren't that amazing. So in general, what you're doing is I feel like you're not aware of what the like bread and butter neutral mix-up is that Marths are supposed to play, so to speak. You're picking a different style of neutral that doesn't abuse his biggest strengths.
Gotcha. Okay.
So the biggest strength is the fact that he's like unhittable when he dashes, right? So
right, yeah.
A lot of the time, the mix-up is, do I think they're going for an undershoot slash a exactly where I am, or do I think they're going for an overshoot? If I think they're going for an undershoot slash where I am, then I want to whiff punish grab or whiff punish fair. That's like the 90% of what you do against that. And if I think they're overshooting or timing mix-upping, then instead of doing the dash dance, then I want to overshoot and like run and grab. So a lot of the time, you'll see Marths, like saying he'll dash under this platform, and a fox will be like here, and fox, he won't go in immediately, but at this range, the fox like, he's thinking, and he's like, oh, Sane has no stage left, so since he's dashing here, he has no stage left, so I'm just gonna overshoot and hit him like so he can't avoid it, and that's when Sane just, you know, he does a super overshoot fair. So like instead of whiff punishing, he instead does this fair. And you see, like, I'm here, and I'm unreactably over here. So the fact that he can be this far away, and then immediately be half across the stage. So, like, if we're playing neutral, and I'm dash dancing here, then I can be there and do that fair immediately. And you never, ever abuse his immense burst speed. That's such a huge part of him, because what you're doing is, you're very much dashing around here, and then you're, like, shielding an approach, and then doing a fair at a shield. Or you're trying to, like, move around it and, you know, do a fair in place. And that's just like, that's part of his neutral, but it's not all of it. And the way the Fox played, for example, he just super exploited you by always doing delayed aerials and, like, run up down tilt. And because you were shielding and you're not really that confident in, like, wave dashing out a shield, you were stuck in disadvantage for so long. And so, generally, the way you want to play neutral is you want to dash around, and since it's unreactable and you have such a huge threat range, it becomes a question of, do I want to overshoot with a dashing grab or fair, or do I want to, you know, whiff punish them with the pivot grab? And with those two things, you'll be a lot better off than if you, like, ever shield in that mix-up. If you shield in that mix-up, the only time that's good against most characters is if you can force a soft hit. If you can force a soft hit, you get a free grab. But everything else, he's so bad at a shield that it's like you've already lost. Their win condition is to get you in shield, and you're giving it to them so easily.
Gotcha, yeah. Okay.
So... the biggest thing is just abusing his super high burst range, and that's what I feel like you're missing very hard, in that you're very much preemptively throwing out aerials, but since you're doing it either... So this was very common. You do, like, a regular get up, and then you do a burst aerial here, or, you know, aerial in place, and the issue with that is, that aerial in place is only good if you can mix in either a dash back afterwards or a dash forward afterwards. And the reason for that is he leans so low that if a Fox tries to overshoot you afterwards and you dash forward, then you go under him and you get center stage for free. And if he tries to hit you afterwards, then you can just dash back, pivot grab them. And the way you're doing it from here, you don't have the range for that mix-up. So since you don't have the range for that mix-up, the stage that's required for you to play that mix-up, it's super easy to just force you in shield, and you have to roll out and, you know, play the disadvantage.
Right.
And the way you get out of pressure a lot is you either aerial out of shield or you roll. And the issue with that is, what I would do as the Fox player, that Fox didn't do, is if I get you in shield, say I fair your shield here, and the first thing I'm doing is I'm spaced right outside of your grab range. I do the fair, and then I immediately, like, dash back slightly. And then I go for the roll. Like, I'm trying to get you to roll here and punish you. That's what I'm doing as the Fox. And the thing is, if you wave dash there, then you, like, that's a lot harder to deal with. And he leans so far downwards that a lot of characters can't hard hit him. Like, if you wave dash out of shield against a Fox, he can, like, he can't nair in place, because if he nairs again, you, like, slip under him. So a lot of the time, even though the frame data is slow, the fact that you lean so far and can, like, go into a dash immediately means that you get out for free.
Okay.
So, number one is that you have to get comfortable abusing your offensive range. And this is, you said you were, like, defensive. I don't think you really are. I think you have this issue where you're running in shield to, like, bait an early attack, and that's good for Marth. Marth isn't that bad at it. However, you do that and you do undershoot aerials. And Marth with undershoot aerials, that only works if you've conditioned them to, like, stuff you out. And the way you condition them to stuff you out is by overshooting. So, like, the way I play the Ditto is I would very much just do the full drift forward fast fall. Like, see how far I'm going here?
Okay.
The way you're doing it is that you're doing it in place. You're like always doing it in place. And if that's the only way you're doing it, you're not abusing your full range.
Gotcha.
So, like, everything's a mix-up, but the way you're playing with only scissors a lot of the time. And since you're only playing with scissors, it's not a mix-up. And like, the fair in place here, it's exceptionally hard to deal with for a lot of characters, but it's only hard to deal with if it's mixed in with the super overshoot, you know.
Right. Okay. So
like, the biggest thing is this, just being able to abuse overshoot and whiff punishing, because you're not whiff punishing. You're not whiff punishing much at all, or you're going for whiff punishes that are delayed. So what you'll do is you'll jump and you'll go for like this delayed aerial. So say you whiff something, and or they whiff something, you're always hitting their shield. You're never ever in a situation where you're like true punishing them by, you know, grabbing them in lag or fairing them in lag. And that's really rough, especially since you're playing so close to the corner because you're shielding so much. Because you're shielding so much, you're forced into the corner. And since you're never really like attempting to wrestle backstage by like, you know, wave dashing forward, going to center stage, you're stuck at the edge, and you're not doing like the true whiff punishes because of it. And the way you abuse the strengths requires you to have stage. Like your comfortable zone should be like here, not here. If you're at the very edge, you're much weaker than if you're here. If you're here, you have so much. You can do like an extra dashback like this. Like that just beats so much. But if you're here, you don't have that. You can't do anything.
Right.
So if we play a game, yeah, he's very, very good at it. So if we just play a game, I want to show you how I play the Ditto, and I'm very much like flow sharded the way I play neutral, because I feel like I know what I hate to play against, so I just abuse that. So if you, yeah, let's just play a game. Oh, turn around. Like right there, you did the overshoot nair. And that's exactly what I felt like you missed a lot in the actual gameplay you had against the Fox, for example.
I'm learning.
Yep. Like, you see how I'm like, I'm not overextending, but I'm still like always hitting you so that you don't have space to disengage. While I felt like you were so frequently giving your opponent the opportunity to just like dash back. Ooh, that was very fast.
Got that.
That's also a reason why his ledge dash is so good. The fact that it's unreactable. Ooh, I tried to air dodge. Should be dead here. Yeah. My ego doesn't let me lose this.
You know what? I feel like I get it completely.
Yep.
This game is very good at like translating the concept of like a will, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right there, you did it for the first time. You took state positioning out of pressure. And that's the like biggest thing I think that you were missing before. The biggest thing I think you were missing before, as an example right there, was that
Yeah.
you're always stationary out of defense. So like, I would hit you or like whiff against you, and you do one up tilt and like a second up tilt when mobility is like your biggest strength. So a lot of time, if you whiff something, the first thing you want to do is reposition. Like your general rule of thumb should never be to do something twice. It should always be to do something once and then move and then do something again.
Right. So if I whiff, just like run away.
Either run away or run forward. Because he goes so low, it's actually a lot less risky to go forward than it is for other characters. Because you dodge under so many things.
Right.
But yeah, let's play another game.
Okay.
CC Graham. Ooh. And there again, went into shield when you really didn't have a reason to. Like you're always pressing the block button.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, there you saw it. I got the shield before you could CC down tilt me.
Ah. It's like I have the advantage state, but I'm still afraid.
Yes, very much. And also, out of disadvantage, you're always doing a move. And Marth isn't very good at doing a move out of disadvantage. He's very good at moving out of disadvantage, but he's very bad at doing a move out of disadvantage. Like, wake up tilt isn't that threatening, because the range is pretty short and the frame data is pretty bad. So a lot of time, it's better to just do like a wake up dash. And you're not really doing that like at all. Oh, I fucked up. He's very fast in the ledge shot up tilt, yes. There you went in and shielded. What's your thought process when you're like approaching into shield? That's what I'm wondering. Ooh. Because a lot of time I feel like you're taking center stage and you're like, ah, now I've gotten positioning. But you're going into shield and like giving it up. Like this, that going forward down tilt, very good. Going forward down tilt, very good. Going forward fair, very good. Oh, I fucked up. How's the free frame delay? Very playable.
This is my first time on 3 frames, and it
definitely still feels playable. Imagine this before being able to play someone in Europe.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You might have noticed it, but I can't ledge dash very well with this character. But the way I'm just doing these like late fairs from ledge, it's so hard to deal with. Because if I have invincibility, when I start up, you can't hit me before the hitbox comes out. So if you just like refresh once and then do the late fair, then I get to like roll in or shield or whatever afterwards. So that's one of the main ways I get out of pressure, because it's so hard for everyone to deal with invincibility.
Also, I'm one of the people who, in response to that like Hungry Box LOD set, finally learned that power shielding doesn't actually get you any frames on melee. Melee hits.
That's fair enough. I didn't know that for the longest time as well. See, you can't really do anything. You have to space around it and give me time. Ooh. So, both of those times, if you, instead of shielded, if your instinct was to press back once, you would have whiff punish grabbed me. So like both those times when I did the nair and fair, if you dashed back and then went for the grab, you would have punished me free. Like, me going for like a tipper move on you, and you have time to move, that's a free whiff punish. But the fact that you don't feel safe enough with his like burst defensive option, so you feel forced into shield, and because you shielded there, I got the shield poke, and you're kind of screwed, right? So that was one example where you had time. There was no way I could possibly overshoot. I didn't have the momentum. I could only do the tipper fair or like tipper nair. And in those spots, if you have time to move away, that's just the freest escape option. And in the same way, if you fair me, like try fairing me. Yeah, like it actually hitting me.
Right.
Yeah. Now go. I guess my shield is too low. But point is, if you fair me and I'm shielding it, then I get time to wave dash away like immediately. Like even if you down tilt me, like down tilt my shield. Alright, it's too low. Yeah, okay, so you don't get time to grab before I get to wave dash away. So in this matchup, every time I hit your shield, like if I fair you, let me fair you.
Yeah.
If I fair you there, your first instinct should often be to like literally just wave dash back immediately, like frame 1 wave dash back. Because if you wave dash back immediately, I can't do anything. Like I'll have to like aerial in place. I can't grab fast enough. So a lot of the time, his best thing, if he's forced to shield, is to just immediately wave dash away if he has space. Because it's very, very hard to chase compared to a roll. And it can even be used like forward. So like if I'm playing against a Fox as Marth, and they're pressuring me, a lot of the time I'll just wave dash through him. Because if I wave dash through him, I get center stage and I can just like whiff punish grab. And they'll never... Like why would you... His grab is so threatening and it's so much range. And because it has so much range, they'll never want to like undershoot a move, right? They always just want to overshoot it. Or like be right inside me. And that makes it so easy to like wave dash through. And... that reorientation, where your first instinct isn't like fair at a shield or nair at a shield, but instead to reset neutral by wave dashing, is such a huge thing for like every matchup with Marth. So like if I fair you, yeah, right there, you wave dash back like immediately, it makes such a huge difference. It's so much harder to deal with overall. And I'm mentioning that because without doing that, you have no way to threaten a reversal. That's one of the things. If we look at the games we've just played, how much have you cornered me versus how much have I cornered you? And that's almost entirely because I'm moving around and abusing my burst speed a lot. So actually, let's quit out here and do another game. And I just want you to think about that. And I'll point out when I think you've done like a good shield versus a bad shield. Very good. I held forward a lot in pressure. Perfect! See, you didn't wake up shield, you wake up, dash through me, and you actually dodged my aerial. That's the exact thing I was talking about.
Sweet.
That's what I meant by that. You don't have to change that much because your execution is easily good enough to be a good Marth. Your punish game is good enough as well. It's literally just that your main instinct is like you're going into his like weakest state. Like right there, you did 3 wave dash down tilts back and forth. That's so much better than ever going into shield. Oh, bad yeah. I need to get way better at that. See, you wave dash back, and suddenly I was in completely the wrong position with my fair. Right there, you didn't have time, so that was a really good shield because you didn't have time to dash away. So yeah, you wave dashing down tilt there, you re-establish pressure like in between my hits, and suddenly I have to care that you might just move and counter hit me, fuck up my spacing, right? And that makes this so much harder. No. Exactly. See how high the burst speed was there? You teleported through me. And dodge my down tilt. Like, this is 10 times harder to deal with than it was last games.
Awesome, man. I just gotta stop F smashing.
F smashing is good. It has its places for sure.
Okay.
Especially because it's so big, and if you ever get the tipper F smash on shield, it's like borderline unpunishable.
Right, yeah.
8 main put. See how I overshoot that fair, and I dash immediately afterwards, and because I dashed, I dodged your back air. I mean, your down air out of shield. That's the same thing where it's like, his burst speed is so high that he can be outside the opponent's threat range so fast. I think he's actually like among the fastest just because of how he leans. Like, it takes like 2 frames and he's so far away that it's not even funny.
It's not that long. Nah.
But yeah, like, you get the idea, I suppose. Because the first thing I noticed was that your game sense was really, really good. Your game sense was really good in that you were reacting to what they were doing.
Yeah.
But the premise you were operating on, that was that you had to let them finish their option, right? You had to. It was sort of like you were playing turn-based. It was sort of like you were playing turn-based, and you're like, so he's doing his move now. Let me shield it and then do my move. But a lot of the time, Marth is extremely good at either not letting them have a turn. So like if a fox short up nairs, a lot of time you literally just whiff punish grab it immediately, and you can be like outside shine range and everything. And other than that, it's like not giving them the turn. You know, I love to just spam this. This is safe on like everything because he can do this fair. And like if you shield it and try and grab me, then I just do this fair and then dash away immediately. So I tipper it on your shield and then I dash away immediately, and you don't get to do anything. You don't get to play the game. That's how bad that is. And then you have to reposition yourself so that I'm no longer tippering you. And
okay, so
that continue.
If I'm trying to tipper these fairs.
Yes, you. So depends on percent, of course, but like the fair, you have 2 ways you can do the fair. Either you go for the tipper on shield, or you go for the super deep fair. So if you stand still and just shield, if you stand still and shield, and I go for the super deep one, let's go center stage. Yeah, I go fucking wait. Let the shield regenerate a little bit.
Okay.
That's okay. Fuck it. I'll just empty jump to show it. So if you do the fair super deep, then you can dash through him. That's super good as well. So like if I empty jump, then I dash immediately afterwards. That's a super good thing. You either want to do the fair tippered, or you want to do it so overshoot that you immediately dash through their shield. So like now I'm here, now I'm behind you, and there's nothing you can do fast enough. So that's like a super big thing. That you either overshoot it and you have enough drift that you can pick on your own. You get to choose which one you want to do. So they have different answers, right? And see, like, since it's unreactable which one you're gonna do out of a dash, because you can either dash and then drift back and do the fair, you know, like in place. Like you have enough stop to like go nowhere, or you can go super far through. It's unreactable which one you're doing. So that's extremely, extremely useful to make that a lot more threatening. So those are like the 2 fairs you want to do. Another thing, you have the same thing with Nair. Nair, if you do a Nair and then auto cancel it, it's only -2 on shield, which means you get to either dash through or back. So doing like instant Nair into dash back is extremely strong, and in the same way you get to pick, you can overshoot instead. So like if you didn't do the Nair into me, you can either do Nair down and then run through me, or Nair run backwards. Like, that's one of the main mix-ups you'll see Sane use, for example. And it's percent dependent which one you want to go for, because like they combo to different things, but they're both safe on shield if you do it that way. So you just like ideally want to go for it, and Nair often shield pokes, which is another huge thing, right? So a lot of time you just go for those two, and it's so hard to punish. And in the same way, like you shielded one of my fairs, and I did the super overshoot one, that one, and then you went for a downer out of shield, and I actually managed to dash like far enough to dodge your downer. That's how extreme it is. I remember that.
Yeah.
That's how extreme it is. Like you can't get hit afterwards. That's how good it is. So in general, shielding is like your biggest failure state as Marth. Like I think whenever I play a Marth as Fox who shields a lot, who I get to play the shield pressure mix up against, I think the matchup is Fox favored. But whenever I play a Marth who like doesn't touch the shield button, or if they do, they always like wave dash every time, that's so much harder to deal with. It's borderline like, it's so frustrating because you don't get free hits on them. They just like dash here and then they wave dash through, and now they have center stage, and then they wave dash through, and they like they don't take any risks. Like they only do like these fairs and shit. So it's really frustrating to deal with compared to if you're going into shield. And if you do, it's like what do I care? You don't have anything that's threatening. There you saw how far it reached, and then you had time to like, even if you hit my shield, you had time to shield yourself or spot dodge or whatever. Oh, I like fucked up my timing. Oh, that doesn't hit. I'm surprised. But yeah, his aerials are like impossible to punish, and just having the confidence to actually like do them approaching makes such a huge difference, because you can be anywhere, and it's because you can mix that in, because you can mix up being like right in front of them and always going in with going back. Like I dodged the fair there by like micro dashing backwards. Having the option to do both is what makes him makes his neutral so disgusting in like every matchup, because he can outrange you, and he's safe on shield, he can outrange you, and he can like dash back immediately. And a fun fact is that his dash is actually, his legs are ungrabbable in the dash, which means that against grabs, you see where his, wait, there it is. You see where his like tunic comes, the top part. That's the first part that's grabbable. So his actual hurt box is like half as big as normal against grabs. So especially if you're playing against someone who grabs, you're essentially grab immune. So like a good example is if you do a dash through, like it might, if you stand still, don't just shield, just shield. Like now, I'm probably ungrabbable for most characters.
I'll hold A. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me pause when. So like here, I'm probably ungrabbable. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's an example of how disgusting that is, even with grabs that go super low. So that's a really good thing to know. That's part of why it's so good, because there's no aerial in the game that hits ground level. So your feet are invulnerable against all, you know, aerials, because they're all rising, and they're invulnerable. Yeah. They're invulnerable against grabs. So because of that, your hurt box is like it's not there. Your hurt box is like half as big as normal.
It's the size. He's a head. Like
yeah. And because of that's part of why this is so disgusting, because he's ungrabbable. His feet is ungrabbable, and he leans so far backwards that like if you look, I'm fairing in place. You see where I am, and then one frame later, I'm back here, and that's like half the platform. It's like half the platform. So that's why that mix-up is so disgusting. Like there's nothing in the game that beats that like straight. They have to hard read you and like already run in with like a down tilt, and that's why you often see like Mewtwo King literally got success in the beginning by playing rock, paper, scissors and saying, okay, I'm going to go in and I'm either gonna fair into dash back, or I'm gonna F smash, or I'm gonna grab. And that's like what are you gonna do? I'm just gonna do these 3 randomly, and then my punish game is 5 times better than yours. And since my punish game is 5 times better than yours, it doesn't matter if you know what I'm gonna do, because this is uncontestable. And the way to beat this out is to preemptively like hit me, right? But how do you preemptively hit me if I sometimes just F smash? Like, you're not gonna preemptively hit. You're not preemptively hitting the F smash. That's not happening. So because of that, he got like extremely far and became one of the best players in the world just by doing that. And that was like one of the things I noticed when I played you, that you don't abuse that at all. So yeah, I want to play one more game, and then I think I want to play some Fox and see if I can point out the specific moments. Did the game crash? Or
maybe.
No, it just took a while to load. I'm gonna try hard this game, so you do the same. See, you dash through my wake up down tilt. That's like, I CC down tilt to you, and you just dash through me, and it's so good, and you never did that before.
There's one thing I'm trying to take away from today.
Which is?
It's dash instead of shield.
Yes, that is like the ground rule for the character, and that's why it's kind of unfortunate that you've been playing Sheik, because she's one of the few characters where she's the opposite. A lot of times she wants to shield.
Right. Oh my goodness.
And you also get that mix-up. If they think you're gonna do a fair into dash back, you can just fair down tilt or fair grab, since they're expecting you to like dash back immediately, and doing another immediate action just beats, you know, them trying to wave dash forward out of shield or whatever.
Wow.
That's why fair into dash through is so insanely good against shield grab. Yes, meat source. That's exactly what it is. I saw that a while ago, but I forgot to answer. See, like,
there you go.
That wasn't even spaced that deep into you, and I still just teleported through you. That's a perfect example.
Yeah. Okay.
We take those. Actually, no, we don't. Actually, no, we don't. We're doing a last stock.
I gotta practice Sammy singles just so I'm like in the last stock situation. Cause
yeah. Oh yeah, with this said, wake up tilt becomes extremely good if you condition them to play around you doing dashes every time. So that's why instant up tilt becomes good.
Cool. Okay, so if I condition them
to expect a dash,
expect dash, then wake up tilt gets good.
Yes, that's the general rule of thumb. So like, especially on wake up, if I get a knockdown on you, let me just like down throw, and I think you're gonna dash back after wake up.
Yeah.
If I'm not going for the reaction tech chase, my regular option is to overshoot a drill. And if I'm overshooting a drill or overshooting like another grab or whatever, then then wake up tilt just beats me out. So that's why wake up tilt is good. Also the fact that he again disappears into the 4th dimension when he up tilts sometimes. So like if you up tilt, I'll pause. So he leans. You see how he leans forward. In the same way as before, the cape is actually unhittable. So you see how thin he is? The hand is also unhittable. The hand is also unhittable. So because of that, if you turn around up tilt, so you see how your head is like at the platform?
Yeah.
And then you go back to normal, how far you're here? You're actually like half a character away. So if I'm trying to punish you, like if I'm doing a nair in place here, wait. So if I do a nair in place and you do nothing, like this nair, if I do it like here, it will hit. But if you up tilt, then my nair will miss. So you'll just straight up beat me out. So that's one example or two. Where if I do like an approaching nair and you turn or up tilt, a lot of the time you'll just like lean away from me. So yeah, the dash and the up tilt both manipulate this hurt box so that parts of it are unhittable, and he also leans a lot. So that's why he has such insane burst movement. And then also his acceleration with the wave dash combined with the dash gives him a very, very crucial option. So like, what I want to do if I see you dash dancing a lot is I want to overshoot or undershoot. And my drill is super good, right? Because the drill, if it hits you, it combos into like everything. But if you dash into wave dash, like try dashing into immediate wave dash. What happens if you dash before you wave dash? Do you see how far you go? Like try and do it like instantly. Like don't dash a lot, just like instant startup. You see like dash for one. Yeah, you see how far you go? Wait, let me do it with here, because
yeah.
You get more. So what happens is the wave dash conserves momentum. It conserves the initial startup, and the initial startup of your dash is so fast that together you go like half the stage. So because of that, you get a super big, like you can dash and dash around, and then immediately dash and go like half the stage. So because of that, this becomes super good, where you get these like micro dashes into super far away dashes, and that lets you control a lot of space without going into the predictable range. So the weakness of Marth's dash dance normally is that he can only go like this far. He only has this range, right? He doesn't have anything more. He has like micro dash to manage it, and that's kind of slow. But as soon as you mix in these wave dashes to reset, you don't have that anymore. Because it's indistinguishable. Like can you tell where I'm wave dashing here versus when I'm dashing around? Like it's very hard to tell, but it fucks up his threat range so that he doesn't have that weakness. He can be anywhere at any time, and that's very good to utilize as well. Those three things: hitbox warping, burst speed, and wave dashing. It just makes it so you can be anywhere without being predictable, without locking yourself out of options. And like Captain Falcon, his wave dash is kind of bad, and he doesn't lean that far when he dashes, so he can't be everywhere. And he also like, his jump squat is slow too. So all of those things means that if you overshoot a Captain Falcon, you're probably gonna hit him. But if you overshoot a Marth, he could have just wave dashed through you, or he could have just dashed through you. And that's why he's so frustrating to deal with. And again, you can't do anything out of shield. You can only wave dash out of shield. And the wave dash is good, but it's not game breaking. While out of dash, you can do all of these things. So yeah, let me just play some games. Let's go. Preemptive grab. I didn't feel like you were doing that much before. I feel like you were mostly doing what's it called? Like
shield.
Yeah. Ooh. So yeah, I actually went for the overshoot nair there, and your wake up tilt beat me out because of it.
Yeah.
Indeed. Oh yeah, also, your grab is so long that you can actually like outspace my aerials. So if I do an aerial, you can often like literally just choose to grab while I'm in the aerial. Like, wait, it stands still for a while?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna nair in place. Like, if I nair in place right in front of you, you're gonna grab like me out of my aerial. It's actually hilarious. So like, try and grab me while I'm in the air, so you get an idea. Like, you will hit the grab. So that's very good to know, that you can actually like straight out outspace my aerial. That's why this is so strong, where you dash back and pivot grab. Because if you dash back and pivot grab, then you literally like, if I do this drill and you went for the pivot grab, then you grab me every time. And that because you know that, because you have the burst speed backwards, a lot of the time when you played that Fox, you went into shield here and tried to like shield grab afterwards. Like almost every time he undershot in a way where you could literally just pivot grab him. Every single aerial.
Yeah.
So that's a good example of it. And this is what I meant when I said that you don't need like much to change to become a lot harder to deal with. Because your punish is decent, and your neutral, like your thinking was decent, your mix-ups were decent, but you locked yourself out of like the strongest mix-ups.
Right.
And then I guess one thing I would like to see you do more, if you're gonna do the like down for back throws, is actually react and tech chasing. But that's something that you should probably wait a bit with, because I felt like your punish was strong, and Well, actually, let's be useful. Let's not. So, I wasn't sure if I was actually gonna talk about this because it's sort of a. I don't think this is the next step. I think this is a step afterwards. But after you've started, like, I guess restructuring your neutral around the abusing his like super broken dash and burst speed. Once you've restructured it around that, the biggest strength and the reason this fair is giga broken in most matchups is that it. So let me get some percent on you to showcase. Let me get you up to like wait. I want to get you up to knockdown percent, just barely. Yeah, here. So, the reason this fair is giga broken is the fact that on DI in, they get popped up, so you get another aerial F smash grab, whatever you want. So every good player will always hold down. But Marth, because of his burst speed, so if you do anything like dash around and I fair you, then I can actually react and tech chase from here. And if I react and tech chase from there, then I get a grab. And that works against spacies, so like this overshoot fair, if you hit a spacey, like if you go Fox, just go Fox real quick. If you go Fox here, this is why I think the matchup is so frustrating as Fox, is if I get some percent on you, so that I start knocking down. Wait. So now if you don't crouch, it will knock down now. So if I do this overshoot fair, then I have a reaction tech chase into the grab, and that's just a kill almost every time. And if you learn to reaction tech chase with the crouch, which is just like dash back, the hardest part is just dashing back at a crouch, you can grab every option. So this fair becomes absolutely stupid, because as soon as it knocks down, you're just like, okay, yoink, yoink, and then you get the finisher or whatever. And the way you're playing now, you're going for reads on the knockdown, but if you can learn to actually exploit the knockdowns properly into grab on like fast fallers, it's actually ridiculous. Like getting that fair. So if you crouch like here, where I'm at, so you actually don't go to ledge. So, yeah. So if you crouch there, yeah. Now I skip the reaction tech chase into nair and like you're dead. Like
Wow.
So I mentioned like this fair isn't that amazing on hit unless you can tech chase, because every good player they'll play the mix up. So like a lot of what I'll do is I'll do down tilt afterwards, and that's why doing the tipper fair is good, because if you tipper fair and dash back, you dodge the down tilt and then you get the grab. But after at higher percents, you'll just be knocked down. Like we'll play neutral. Like wait. Stay here at ledge and do nothing. Yeah, like here. Say you're like trying to back here my fair from ledge, like where I'm at. So stand where I'm at. Say you're trying to like back here my fair from ledge, and I just like do that, and now I have a react and tech chase, and then you're dead. That's how ridiculous it is if you can actually react and tech chase from it. So that's
what percent does that start at for the Fox?
There's an exceptionally good site called I Need Data. And I Need Data has a calculator, which is super easy to use. So I just plug in Marth fair, and then I plug in the non-tipper hit, and I set Fox to attempt crouch canceling, but he's not crouching, and it starts knocking down at the non-tipper knocks down at 60%, but the tipper knocks down way earlier. It knocks... No, wait, what am I talking about? Yeah. So the tipper knocks down at super low percent. It knocks down at 18%. Wait, so if I get you to 18% and I tipper fair, so do nothing. If I tipper fair now, you'll be knocked down, and that's a reaction tech chase.
18%, wow.
Yes. So every time, like if you're doing a nair into me and I don't want to go for the dash grab, I might just literally fair into you, and I'll fair into you and I'll hit you, and then bam, knock down, and that's a reaction tech chase. So cool. Yeah, that opens up his punish game so much. And I want to mention it because the reason his like burst fair is so ridiculously scary is because against Fox, this is an instant kill. Like, no joke. If you don't CC, this fair is an instant kill. Like, let's play neutral. Like, so you get the punish here. I fucked up the spacing. Oh, nice. You should be dead here. Instant kill. That's how ridiculous it is. So definitely after you've started like restructuring your neutral with less shield and more abusing the dash, the next step would definitely be to implement crouch react and tech chasing, because he's so good at it. And like the fact that you can do like walling aerials. Oh yeah, Nair knocks down at ridiculously low percent as well. So like you saw I react and tech chase from this. Get the grab. It's unreactable on that play.
So one thing that you mentioned was dash back out of crouch, and
Yes.
I'm realizing, so like for some reason, there's some like I'm trying to do that right now.
It is hard. That's why I mention it. So there's two ways to react and tech chase with Marth, and basically every player who react and tech chases properly have decided that they're going for the crouch, because what we're doing is the crouch is a frame perfect input to dash back, but because of controller jank, it's usually a 2-frame input. What do I mean by that? Well, it doesn't actually read your stick every frame. So if you dash back and like jump to the back frame, then you're good. On the box that I'm using, it reads like every frame every time. So I actually have to do it frame perfect. But like even I on the box can do it reliably. So a lot of time you just want to like flick the stick super fast to the other direction. And the reason we do that is because the alternative is to shield. And shield isn't bad, because like if you do a get up attack, I have to react. And if I crouch, I don't have to react. And it's a lot easier to react to the roll back if you have the input, like it's literally this, right? But if I have to react to get up attack, I might fail and, you know, shield one time too many, or, you know, fuck up the shield and get hit. While if I crouch, that can't happen. I just, you know, get knocked a little bit and then I dash up and grab you, or I dash up and F smash or whatever, right? So that's why everyone goes for the dash back out of crouch. And I mention it, the reason that it's the next step is because it's actually something you have to grind. You have to actually grind how to dash out of crouch, because if you don't, you're not gonna get it consistently. But once, like if you start restructuring your neutral, like when you played me right there and you didn't shield and you just dashed around, like if you start doing that and you start tech chasing, you'll be a like PR player immediately. I'm not even kidding. Like you're already like decent punish game and you're already reacting to stuff. You're not really overwhelmed. And like imagine if every time you hit this fair on a fox, you get the react and tech chase and you just stand and crouch right in front of them and they do any option, you like grab, and then you're like, I'm gonna do a grab the roll. I'm gonna do like, you know, every knockdown becomes a grab. So you nair a fox at 10%. And if you, like, wait, what percent is this? Don't crouch, just stand still. Where I'm at, like, center stage, so you don't, so you don't get knocked too far away. Yeah, it knocks down. So every time here, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna get the react and tech chase. And that's like ridiculous. Just being able to do that. And you don't always have to grab. It's actually, his up tilt is so fast that you can actually up tilt on reaction as well. So that's definitely like the next punish game step to step up. And I think with those things, restructuring your neutral like, around abusing all parts of his kit like equally, because this is the thing that a lot of Marths fail with, right? They're very comfortable with the whiff punish, but they're not comfortable with the overshoot. And you need to be able to do both. Because if you do both, it's so toxic. Because wait, if you stand still, this range is unreactable. So if I'm here dash dancing, and the Marth is like, he's only comfortable doing this fair, then it's like, okay, I can stand over here, and I'm not scared. Like, if you're only comfortable doing the walling fair, which is like most Marths aren't comfortable doing the overshoot fair. This is why PP was so scary, by the way. He's like the only Marth who consistently did the instant fair. if you don't do that, I can dash here and I'm not scared. But if you do that, then suddenly I can't. Then I have to like be super far away. And that's such a huge deal, because Fox, my win condition is to feel confident overshooting you. And it's like walling fair plus, you know, plus overshoot. It's so toxic to deal with. And your punish game is already decent. Like you already kill me from not that many hits. So yeah, I am very confident that with not too many changes, you can become significantly scarier to play against. Especially because like the shield mix-ups that you're playing now, there are going to be spots where you're forced to shield. And like obviously I think wave dashing out is generally the best call, but you're already learned fairly well when you can grab and when you can like fair, right? And so like even if you fail here, like sometimes you'll go for this, and with time you'll learn when it's gonna work and when it's not gonna work. You'll be like, ah fuck, I guessed wrong, he's gonna overshoot. That's when you're like, oh okay, I can't dodge, so since I can't dodge, I have to shield. But now that you've already like had that as a baseline for so long, that you seem pretty confident in shield. So you know like what the mix-ups are afterwards. So instead of seeing this as the baseline, you see it as like the failure state, but you're still like comfortable in doing stuff to not give it like for free, right? Because a lot of Marths, they'll either be super good at like the dash and stuff, and they won't be good in shield. They'll be like completely lost in shield. So they'll do the dash dance, and as soon as I get them in shield, I'm like, I've won. It's a free, you know, it's a free neutral win for me. While other Marths, they're pretty bad at the dash dance around. They'll do like mostly walling aerials and then shield. And then it's like, okay, I got you in shield immediately, which means I'm more likely to win, but you're also confident in shield. And since you're confident in shield, it's a lot harder to take advantage of. So if you do both, if your baseline is dashing around and abusing his burst speed, but you're also confident in shield, so like you can recognize, oh, I don't have time, that's so huge. Like there's very few Marths that do that, and that's one of the things that I think, you know, separates people like Zane from the other Marths, is that he can recognize, oh, I don't have time, let me play the, you know, let me play the shield mix-up correctly.
Oh, nice.
Wake up till...
Yeah.
Oh yeah, also this is a thing on DI down. if you can reaction tech chase. It's just hard, but it is a thing. Oh, gee, I thought that hit. It went straight for your cape.
There's like tech that I think Marths tend to only pull out against other Marths.
Yeah?
Like the like that like the like run behind grab.
Yes, that's super good against that's super good against like every character.
Yeah. I gotta start using that on other people.
Yeah, so the way I mentioned that if you're in shield and I'm Fox, I wanna like keep hitting you. If you like wave dash a lot, then that's why you get that mix up. You know, you wave dash out between my hits, and then afterwards you just like go through me and get the grab for free. So something you'll see PP do a lot is that he'll oh, I fucked up. What people do a lot and what Zane will do a lot is, so if a Fox hits his shield, say I shield a move, then he wave dashes through and then the stack grab.
Okay.
Because that's like Fox after like the aerial slash shine. If I'm not tight, you get out and then you just get the grab, and then a high percent you just do an F smash instead. You go under my next aerial, right? So that's very strong to know about. So yeah, it's definitely 100% worth it to pull it out in other matchups as well, not just the Marth matchup. It's super strong in like most matchups. Oh, and in the same way, I've talked about this, his burst speed is his best option. Because of that, double jumping is generally not very preferable. You very rarely want to find yourself in a spot where you're without a jump in the air, because then you don't have any mix-ups left. So a lot of time, even if I'm threatening something, if you have a platform above you, it's completely fine. because then you can, you know, jump waveland to the platform. But if you don't have a platform on this stage, a lot of time, I just, you know, waveland back instead of double jumping again. Because it's, being without a jump in the air, that's like your biggest way to lose, so...
Right, yeah.
Posture check. Oh yeah, you're right. Thank you, Nikki. And that right there was what I talked about before, like doing an aerial, if you're expecting me to dash back afterwards, you're like wave dashing out of shield, that's why the F smash hits a lot against a lot of players. Because they're expecting you to like, immediately after I've fared, you know you have time in between, right? So you just like wave dash immediately, and that's why you'll see so many just, you know, fair F smashes connect on people. Does that kill? It does not. Does that kill? It does not. Nice.
There we go. That was a
So,
soft
yeah.
ferret.
That was a... Oh wow. No,
yo,
I'm
gonna get
losing.
time out.
I can't do anything.
I did it.
Yep, you did. But yeah, that's... I think that's my main advice. I don't really think I have that much more else. I feel like your tech skill was good. I feel like most of it was good. It's just that. And we can play like 1 or 2 games here as Fox
Yeah,
Smart.
let's do it, man.
Let's do
Thanks
it.
so much for
No
all the
worries.
insight and stuff. Like, I would have gone. I just would have played for however
Yeah,
long.
you, and not think about it. Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
That's why you crouch. If you crouch there, you don't have to care about the get up attack.
What is there like a percent where that stops working?
Yes, it's like 80-ish.
80.
At 80,
Okay.
at 80%, I can check the exact data. It's the same for every character except Jigglypuff, because for some reason Jigglypuff's get up attack does like twice as much knockback as other ones. It does a lot more knockback, but it's not. It doesn't have invincibility as a trade-off. Every other get up attack has invincibility, but not puffs.
Oh damn.
And there, right there, you saw you were like you remained at a distance from me after the F smash. If that was me, I would realize I hit the F smash and that it would cause a knockdown. Like I already know that in my head. So as soon as I hit the F smash, I know, oh, wave dash forward to their, you know, position and then tech chase them.
Oh right.
And then I get a true grab every time. So just knowing when it knocks down, like hit me with an F smash. Yeah, and literally just wave dash forward and then, you know, reaction tech chase from there. And you can cover everything on reaction. And then I'm dead.
Cool.
You've had like 6 opportunities to wave dash out a shield there. Between every single hit, you could have wave dashed out.
It's the late nair. It like, yeah.
Yeah, it's harder to deal with. Yeah, F smashes here is super nice. I 100% agree. Was that intentional that you went for the slide off there?
No.
Okay.
Alright, if I had crouched.
Yep. Then
Okay,
nothing,
cool.
nothing like that would have happened. But it's hard to react and take chase. That's why I'm saying it's the next step, because it's something that you have to practice. While the other stuff is more like you will, as soon as you like change your thinking, you'll get it immediately, right? But if you can, if you can just get comfortable killing from knockdown, it's ridiculous. Because otherwise it's like you're very predictable. You're always looking for the grab. But what happens if you know fair and nair knocks down? Well, suddenly both your aerials knock down. F smash knocks down at 0. Okay, so if I get hit by an F smash, I'm just, you know, grabbed. That kind of sucks. Oh, I fucked up. No, I'm stuck. Well, yeah, he can shield. Every character can shield grab every get up attack. There's no character who can't shield grab a get up attack. It's just that you have to react to it, and that's why you do crouch anyways. So the reason you do crouch is because you don't have to react to it. I'm talking to a Marth in my chat right now because he.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, so yeah, I agree. You don't have to space it, which is great, but I'd still go for the crouch just because it's so much easier to like react with. But that's also because I'm super, you know, I know how to dash back. But I do go for the shield grab one if I'm at too high % because I've gotten to the point where I feel like I can react to it anyways. So yeah, being able to dash out a crouch, super useful. It really opens up his punish game.
I've been playing this game for like 4 years. I only learned about cactus dashing like a month ago.
Yeah, it's a way to circumvent it, but it's a bit since you have to dash forward, it adds an extra bit of lag so that you can't like what's it called? So that you can't cover roll behind because it takes a little bit of extra time to dash forward, right? So because of that, it's generally not. You generally don't want to do that. Though his grab range is so long that against shorter rolls, I'm pretty sure you can just cactus dash it if you have trouble with, you know.
Okay, what's the difference between cactus dashing and the like?
So the difference is that dashing back immediately is a 1-frame input, but dashing forward out of crouch is a 2-frame input. So if you dash forward, it's twice as easy. So then you can dash forward and then back. It's just you add a little bit of lag since you're not going backwards immediately, right? You see how this is how fast I'm covering the roll going back immediately, while I have to like my momentum makes it so I don't really go anywhere at the same time.
Okay, so is this what I'm doing right now? What is that as fast as you can do that?
No, you're doing regular get up now. So what you want to do is you want to instantly transition from down to fall back. So you have to flick the switch super far. So like, see how I'm crouching? Now I'm dashing back. Like I don't go through the stand-up animation. I immediately dash back. It's a frame perfect input, but it's just like a flick. And some people like have it. They do it easier if they stand down and flick from towards them. So usually like one side is a bit more consistent. So I just hold down and like flick back as fast as possible.
Okay. When you say flick, so like I'm holding down right now.
Yes.
How do I flick?
So you wanna avoid being in between. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to move the stick as fast as possible to like the dash position, you know, the full away. So what I do is I just take the stick and I do either I go right into it, like I try to slam it into, you know, the notch that goes like to the side, right? You know, you have a notch there. I just try to slam it into there. Yeah, you got it there. And if you do that correctly, you get it. And it's usually easier this side. It's usually easier to do it to there because you do it towards you and you have more strength towards you. So if you crouch and dash back this direction, it's usually easier. But yeah, it's an input you'll have to train a little bit. There you got it. There you got it again. So once you get comfortable doing that, you can just cover every take or reaction like that.
Am I trying to do it like a quarter circle?
It's controller dependent, right? So some controllers can do a quarter circle super easily, but every controller can do like immediate. You don't go into the circle. I mean, you don't quarter circle it. You go straight. I have the godlike reactions, so most of the time I just react to them, not rolling and shield grab, get up attack, or regular get up. Yeah, I have pretty bad reactions, but I'm still one of the best tech chasers because, you know, it's not tech chasing isn't hard reaction wise outside of get up attack. So I I still have very high success rate, even though my reaction speed is decidedly very average. Like, I did a human benchmark, and I'm at like 230, 240 milliseconds. And I saw yours here at 170, so you have like a lot of extra frames. So yeah. So yeah, mine is like, I'm not that good. Like, if I do a visual test reaction time test right now, if I do 5 of them, I'm gonna put it on the main screen. Actually, I'm gonna quit out here so the stream can see it. If I do it like right now, reaction time, can you load? Thank you. My reaction speed is actually not good. 200, 215. I guess I'm at. Oh yeah, I was using my laptop. That explains a lot. That's never mind. My reaction speed is pretty good. It's just I was using my laptop, which has a lot of extra lag.
Do you find? Yeah, are you on 144?
I'm on 120 now. It's a little bit faster with my monitor because it, for some reason, 144 lags a little bit. So I get less input lag with 120 than 144, even though the monitor supports it.
Interesting. Okay.
But yeah, so I guess that's my lesson, I suppose. You have 8 minutes before you have to do something else, so, you know. Hope this has been useful. You can look through the VOD later, and, you know.
Yeah, dude, I'm going to be studying this VOD quite a lot. So, thanks again.
Happy to hear it. Yeah, no worries, dude. It wasn't very hard. You're already pretty good, is the thing, so.
Thanks, man. You're pretty good, too.
Thanks. But yeah, well, see you around, dude. I'll put in my calendar to DM you in like a month or so, and, you know, check in on you, and you'll tell me if you feel you gain from it, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, I look forward to doing this again in a month or so.
Awesome.
I'll try and grind.
Happy to hear it. So yeah, I'll put it in. I'm putting it in on my phone right now, so that I'll shoot you a Discord DM when that happens. So yeah, dude, see you around. Good luck with whatever you have to do today. And
thanks, man. You too.
Yeah. Goodbye. Nice. Let me finish putting it in my calendar. DM audio sprite. Audio sprite. Which is I have streamer mode on right now, so I actually can't actually see his text. I have to turn off streamer mode really quick. Good. Streamer mode, disable, get his numbers, about progress. Okay, start time. He woke up late, so I'll put it at 5. Category reminder 1 day early. Thank you. Done. Nice. Now I have it in my calendar. Whew. Remember to put on streamer mode again. Nice. Actually, I'm gonna read the DM. Oh, it's WoW related. Oh, he saw King Funk saw Neutrino on the in WoW Classic, WoW Classic. Yes, Livingy's playing that. Sick. But yeah, that's the lesson. Good lesson. Thank you. During the lesson, I got Sugden_. Thank you for the follow. Super Hot Dan, thank you for the follow as well. Ulmik and A Horse Who Can Drive. I appreciate all the follows. Very appreciated. Now I think I'm just casually because I'm in the mood. Also, A Horse Who Can Drive. Audio sprite. Remember to turn back delay to 2, so you don't play on free delay. Just in general. Pro tip. Remember to turn it back.